welcome to 108 Gate, where we are looking at the current feminine, divine feminine energies. And I hope you're all well. I hope you're all, excuse me, feeling positive, feeling proactive. Although, looking at the astrological chart today, something was coming up in the nature of the Chiron retrograde in Aries. So in the few readings previous, there was a mention of not wounding healed wounds. Let's start shuffling. There we go. I could feel that coming in. Right. Not wounding healed wounds. So then now, as we've got Mars 0 Sagittarius and Saturn 0 Pisces, and Sun is also in Sagittarius at 1 degree now. So it feels like there's, like, if we remember what the Saturn is about, shuffling the Saturn is about the rules, the regulations, the limitations, restrictions and authority, things like that, but kind of where we adhere to it. And then with Saturn, it's a very powerful fire sign, and we also have galactic center around this space, so it's quite a substantial power to be working with, energy to be working with. So Aries, also being a fire sign, is coming in at the moment of, with all this new fresh energy going into Sagittarius, and certain things coming up around Jupiter 7 degrees Taurus in retrograde. It's that extraction of something is possible. So with that extraction, if we're looking at Chiron in retrograde in Aries, the self, the true self, the authentic self, who are you meant to be, who are you wanted to be, identifying with self, protecting self, over emphasizing things on self or under emphasizing things on self, just basically assessing where are we with self. So what was coming up today is the sense of those wounds that have been repressed or suppressed. Again, 2 defense mechanisms. When something is suppressed or repressed, or denial even is coming in as defense mechanism. How do we work with that? How do we deal with that? So a lot of the energies at the moment seem to be geared towards bringing up those things, especially with Aries having Chiron as retrograde 50, so it's right in the middle of kind of where it's at. And all this powerful energy around it, it feels like there's some wounds that have, especially, the thing is, there's so many combinations that are bringing this energy up. So if we just go around, if we were trusting authority, or we had a sense of authority leading us in a particular way and kind of blindly going that way because it's authority and we're supposed to do that. Seeing now where we've been wounded by it, seeing now where the superior so-called, or senior role, so more accurately, has misled us or mistreated us, those things are quite raw and coming up. For those of you who have been suppressing or repressing or being in denial of certain wounds because they've just simply been too hard to face in the previous whatever months, years, lifetimes, whatever it is, it does feel like there's this massive surge of things coming up. Just to be really gentle with yourself, like really gentle with yourself, really honest with yourself. It may even require some time alone, some time away from the very people, the very triggers, the very things that aggravate you. Because if we stick ourselves in those situations right now, we don't quite know how explosive or how temperamental things can be. So as we have here, we have remembrance, memories and the past hold the key. So it's not about going and digging for them and finding them out so we can just sit with them and wallow in the pity or anything like that. It's about it coming up to be flushed away. We want to be flushing things away as quick as possible, and really just thinking about what kind of fights we're picking. Some fights are like, oh God, they're unwelcome, but at the same time they may be well overdue and they have to be addressed now, because if they're not addressed now, it's just going to lead to more pain, destruction, whatever that is. And the rejuvenation that comes from that, reawaken and then stand stronger. So it's literally now the alignment of the chart feels like it's supporting this new way of being, especially because Saturn is going into Pisces. It's kind of bringing some solidity to what was wishy-washy. So some of the things that were like unspoken but not quite clear and not quite well understood, not communicated well, it's bringing in some solidity to that of like, well, this wasn't spoken about, but look at the reality of it, and let's just kind of actually get some realistic perspective of this. So there you go. So you actually know which direction you're going in. Knight of Wands, what needs to actually be dealt with, what needs to be addressed. Knight of Wands, fire sign, kind of ties in with the, really does feel like it's tying in with the Aries and Sagittarius vibe. Very, very strong. And along with that, sorry, that's another thing I didn't mention. So we've got Mars at 0 Sagittarius. Did I mention it or not? I don't know. If I didn't, then I'll mention it now. If I did, then I'll mention it again. So that's why there's so much force. That's where the power play is coming in. That's where the you can't hide from it any longer is coming in. That's where the gas may have been coming out of the valve for so long, but now you're about to strike the match and it's about to ignite that gas. So it really is quite something. So really, again, I'll reiterate it as many times as I need to make sure the message is coming through, that really be careful on how we word things, on how we approach things, just purposefully and intentionally and consciously taking a step down, taking a step back, and really letting the situations and certain scenarios become revealed, allowing them to be revealed, allowing them to kind of breathe their own life first before we just jump in and assume, before we just jump in and make a conclusion that may not be true. So as we do that, we just take a moment to step back, take a moment to retreat a little bit, retract ourselves a little bit. There's going to be a particular kind of insight available to come through. You'll be giving the insight a space to come into in your consciousness, in your emotions. I ain't saying that a lot of this is going to be pleasant. I'm saying it's going to be more than likely truthful, and it's going to be quite difficult for some people. And then there's other spaces and places where we've got to be careful what kind of fights we're picking, because there's an aspect of, how can I put it? There's an aspect of making sure that we're picking the correct fight. Like if, for example, there's one extreme that's coming in of picking fights we really don't need to, and not taking responsibility of it. And then there's just for the sake of picking a fight, or someone's doing that with you. Right, bringing in temperance to that. So if you feel that someone's just picking a fight with you, how are you responding? How are you reacting? Check yourself, and just try and get the best outcome that you possibly can for you. Also, just being considerate of, like, when we're picking the wrong fight, or we're picking a fight for the sake of it, or someone's picking the fight for the sake of it, you're not going to have a good outcome. If you keep pushing, then just what are you actually going to get from it? So that's one side. But then it's the other side of, like, when you should have stood up for yourself, when you should, like here it says, reawaken and then stand stronger. Queen of Swords, getting the clarity in of where you should have stood stronger, where you should have and could have possibly been more assertive in standing up for yourself, speaking up for yourself. or have you stopped someone else standing up for themselves, stopped someone else from speaking up for themselves? All those different kind of scenarios right now feel quite possible. Well, really is something. So Neptune is at the end of Pisces, so it's really had a long time to just kind of make everything a bit of gobbledygook and wiggly and topsy-turvy, or whatever you want to say, how you want to refer to it. So it's really now, in some ways it's good because it's brought it up and kind of shuffled it, so it's loosened it a bit. But at the same time, now you've really got to do the hard work for those of you ready. And this isn't about force, because Mars is already being the force. This is about where you're feeling the force is pushing you. You kind of just are coming in steady. So, for example, if someone F1 driver, for example, is the car is pushing to however many G's or whatever, and then you're the driver, you're the one who needs to hold the car steady. You don't go in full throttle and start going too, like, yeah, let's go, because you're the one who's navigating the road. You are controlling the car. The car is capable of going in any direction at any, like, top speeds, but it's not going to be useful if someone's going top speed into a wall, or going top speed into a catastrophe, or going top speed into someone else. So it's about being responsible for your actions, being responsible for what you're saying, what you're doing. And if you're not feeling strong enough to do that, pulling yourself back and just literally cocooning a little bit. Don't be hesitant to just say, I need afternoon to myself, I need a day to myself, I need the weekend to myself, I need a few months to myself. Back off, everyone. Whatever it is that you need to do. And if you do then not put the boundaries down, you put yourself in awkward situations, then there's no one else really to you can't really blame anyone else but yourself, because it doesn't matter how difficult it feels to say no. It's on you to learn that lesson, to learn that ability, to learn that skill, to get that muscle to say no. And if you can't say no, and if you haven't said no, then that's you who hasn't said no. Therefore, to be angry with someone else, or to be annoyed at someone else for them pushing it until you say no, that's what you're allowing in, that's what you're communicating out, that's what the message is that you're transmitting, not a no. So it really, really is coming in, like, especially with the Saturn at 0 Pisces, of like bringing in some of the steadiness into the mishmash of everything. So everything's been so flighty and confusing and things like that. So bringing in some solidity to that, but not because of other people's rules enforced on you. It's because of the rules and the boundaries and that you're putting into place. So if you are unable to say no when it's necessary, reawaken and then stand stronger. How can you stand stronger if you don't stay awake? If you keep going into the same rigmarole, the same cycle of this is happening, but not making a change. This is happening, but I'm still going to do it anyway. Then don't complain. Then don't moan. Then don't expect anything different. Then keep it to yourself and don't spread it onto other people, spread it into other situations. Or the other way is, the other perspective, the other approach is to basically, this is going to be intense, it is intense, therefore I'm taking myself out of this situation for a while. If you haven't been able to say no, if you can't say no, that's, without sounding direct, well, it is direct because this is a reading that's coming in, this is the astrological alignment that's here. If you can't say no, then that's it, then just accept that that's where you're at. Accept where you're at and hold it within yourself. This is where you're going to be seeing where wounds haven't been dealt with, and then to see who's it on, because it's not on the people who are doing the work, it's not on the people who are not being told that you're setting boundaries or not. That's on you. So those of you who are doing the work and want to do the work and really just stepping up to the batting mound. I'm seeing like It's your time, it's your innings, let's go. Those of you who are stepping up with love, like you're not doing it because you're being malicious, you're not doing it because you're being cruel or unkind. You're doing it because you simply understand that to be, sometimes that saying, you've got to be cruel to be kind, it may appear that you're being cruel. I'm saying no. Somebody comes in with, well, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, blah blah blah. Well, no, not actually. I shouldn't actually be doing it because, or don't even have to say that. If it doesn't feel correct, it doesn't feel correct. And if they can't respect that, then you've got a different kind of thing to tackle and tussle with. Let's go here. 9 of Wands. Mastery of this. Mastery, knowing how to be in one space and with this certain memories coming up, certain emotions coming up, certain things coming up. If you are walking along the road and you can see that this road is not for me, you need to get off that road ASAP. If you keep walking down that road, then you're going to have to start getting used to being alone on that road. For those of you who are taking the time to identify, this is not the road for me, where's the next exit? Get off the road. Just simply get off the road. That's just not the journey for you. Therefore, I'm taking a sharp right or left, depending on which country you live in. And there you go, Knight of Wands proceeding forward. It's going to come with conflict, but it just means you're going to have to really pull up your pants, pull up your socks, get your boots on. Not rocket boots. This is not a rocket boots moment. This is actually the opposite. Get your fluffy slippers on and just retract. Go into a comfort zone, go into a comfort space. Ease and grace. Ease and grace. There's already too much aggression externally from the forces and the sources of Mars being at 0 Sagittarius. You've already got too much going on there. And then you've already got Sun is at 1 degree Sagittarius, which is amplifying that Mars ferocity. With Saturn in Pisces, so the confusion and the wibble wobble is quite intense right now. And Chiron retrograde 15 degrees in Aries. And the true node is in 24 degrees Aries. So you've literally got... Good luck with this. Enjoy the process. And what I mean by enjoy the process is even the pain here, you want the pain to not be self-detrimental. You don't want the pain to be self-destructive. If you have been the kind of person to be self-destructive in the past, and if you're seeing a path that you shouldn't be on, you're seeing a path and you keep walking down it, don't put this on other people. Do not put this on other people. Because you are keeping not only yourself in these cycles, but you're pulling other people into your cycles too. And if you are not able to identify that, I suggest you, this is why it's saying just slow the right down. Slow right down. Give the clarity a chance to be revealed. Give the memories a chance to be revealed. Let the memories come up. Not because you're pulling them up, not because you're sifting for them, but because they're coming up like an informative friend, like an inspector, detective, whatever it is, coming in saying, oh, remember this. This is the evidence I found in the subconscious. We need to deal with it. Bring temperance in. Really slow down. This is not a rocket boots moment. This is not a put your foot to the pedal moment. This is you're already in a fast car. You need to be alert. You need to be aware of what's going on. And you need to keep yourself steady, emotionally sound, so that you can navigate anything that's coming on the track. If a bird comes on the track, you need to be able to respond instantly. There's already a lot of power behind this. You've got how many wands? Conflicting wands. Mastering these wands. You haven't got the 10 yet. Justice coming in. It really is about being responsible with your own actions, with your own whatever. And those of you who are doing it, feeling into that, feeling the difference between when you didn't take charge of things for yourself and now that you are taking charge of things for yourself. Let's go in that direction. Let's get you a new oracle card. And I am having some new cards coming soon, so really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that. But like, I guess once you have certain readings coming up and that there's certain things that you do want to be able to do in the readings, looking for certain decks to do particular readings, but I'm not actually finding some that I want right now, but it's okay, they'll come when they're ready. Anyway, justice. So those of you who are taking this stance of, you know what, I'm not going to go into the conflict, and if there is conflict, I'm going to have the temperance. I'm going to have that steady grounding space. I'm going to come in it with love. And I don't mean, oh, I love you, so therefore we don't have to fight and blah, blah, blah. This is not what I'm saying. I'm saying just literally unconditional positive regard. You see them for who they are, and then you accept them for who they are. From that point, you judge, how can I interact with you, or how can I not interact with you? If I can't interact with you because with love, I just can't see us working out. I can't see this working. There's too much clashing happening right now. Instead of ignoring the clashing and trying to understand how to remove the clash, this isn't the time to do it. This is just a time to, like, right, there's a clash happening. Remove self from it for a while. Let the clash. It's the same as what I said in the reading. I can't remember if it was a monthly reading for a particular sign, or if it was a divine feminine or divine masculine, but it's like, if there's this person with this person, the combination works and they create something amazing, or they create harmony, they create peace. This person with that person, it's just a nightmare situation and scenarios coming up constantly. Then just don't create that situation for yourself. Just don't walk into that situation. Like I said, it just keeps going that way. So I want to break that, because those of you who are in that space, you've got a lot of work to do, and not to be rude, not to be unkind. Get to really steady yourself and do the work, because there's a lot to be done. And then one of you might be in denial about that, and I'm not. So you figure out where you are in this reading. I'm not saying, I don't know who's watching at this moment right now. So you know your situation. You know you better than anyone else in the whole world. If you're in denial about certain things, you're going to have conflict. If you're having conflict coming up from external things, what are you doing to address it? And if you're doing something to address it and you're not being heard, is it because you need to say it in a different way, you need to behave in a different way, or you just simply need to retract for a bit? Again, Knight of Cups with his cup, words of love, and it's not just I love you and this, the therefore. What? It's deeper than that. It's about seeing past. It's literally seeing each other as flesh and bone. Seeing each other as flesh, bone and a soul. And it's like, simply get on with this person, or simply don't. Out of respect and whatever else. Instead of being angry with you. Instead of being peed off with you. Instead of being an instigator of more conflict. I'm removing myself from this relationship. I'm removing myself from this friendship. I'm removing myself from this group. I'm removing myself from this scenario or situation. I'm going to let you get on with it the best you can, because I'm not in a position to love the way you need me to. I'm not in a position to be denied the love that I need in the way I need it. This is what it's about. It's about the bigger concept of love. It's not the mamby-pamby romantic Disney kind of flowers floating everywhere and all that stuff. It's genuine, sincere love that's going to see past time. It's going to be, no matter what, it's literally positive, unconditional regard, unconditional positive regard. You see them for who they are. Can you see that you're going to work together or not? If you're still questioning things like that, you may be in the wrong place. If you can't find an instant solution, have you taken the time back to find a solution, or just keep pushing it forward, hoping that you can get the triangle through a circle hole, or you're going to get elephant through the keyhole? That's what it's feeling like for some people. You ain't going to get the elephant through the keyhole, besides the fact that an elephant doesn't belong in a keyhole. Where is the key? Memories and the past hold the key. Has the past come back and you're still ignoring what happened in the past and not allowing yourself to heal? Those of you who are utilising the past to heal, using this precious, precious opportunity and key to heal and to move on, can genuinely feel the expansive, universal, galactic version of love. It's beyond words, it's beyond judgment, it's beyond yes or no, it's beyond correct or not. It's simply acknowledging this isn't working, so it can't work. This is working, so it can work. How far, if it was measured out of 1 to 10, how far is it? Right, let's get another one for here. Self-acceptance. If you're feeling more comfortable in yourself, you're feeling more confident in yourself, and you're able to say confidently, this is not working for me, what can I do? What can we do? What should I do? What should we do? That's where that is. Confidently able to say that. With love, I come to this and expose my inner thoughts of this is not feeling good, this is not feeling comfortable, this is not working for me, this is not where I want to be going. Therefore, is it going to shift and change, or are you going to keep me in a loop for another 10 years? Are you going to keep me waiting for a change to happen another 5 years? Are you going to do what you actually promised this time, or are you going to just keep me hanging on? Hanging keeps coming in a lot. Are you suspended in waiting for something to happen? Are you suspended for a particular outcome? This Divine Feminine reading is really in depth, and it's really feeling like it's drilling into a deep hole. And as it's drilling into the deep hole, it's kind of, you can see I can feel the residue coming up and out. This isn't going to be an easy one. I'm saying that now again. It's not going to be an easy one. We need to be heading this way with that sandwich in it. Acknowledge how you're stepping forward. Acknowledge the conflict that's happening, and out of that conflict, are you able to navigate that? Are you able to manage it? Are you able to still be standing and speak your truth? As you do, the clarity will come in of what needs to be done. This is the difficult part. It takes courage, and it takes strength to be able to speak up the way you need to here. Words of love, self-acceptance, word of I love myself so much that I'm not going to put up with this crap any longer. I shouldn't have put up with this crap for this long anyway. You're promising this, you're promising that. I haven't seen anything actually come forward. I've given you too many chances. It's done. It may be like a business deal, and you're waiting for the investment, you're waiting for the emotional investment, or you're waiting for the time investment to do the next steps. Is it there? If it's not, I think you know what you're going to do. Or don't complain about it if 5 years from now, 6 years from now, 1 year from now, nothing's changed. Don't complain about it, because it's right there in front of you. You choose to see it or not. Those of you who are seeing it, I'm really disliking this negative energy coming in, because those of you who are doing it and seeing the outcome, because you've had the courage to speak your truth, because you're having the courage to say no to certain situations, I really want to, let's get a few cards for you. Because you're doing the work, you're going there, you're putting yourself on the line, you've got some level of risk here, because if you think about going this vulnerable and this transparent into certain situations, you don't know essentially what the outcome's going to be, but you understand that it's either don't know and go for it anyway, or stay in the crap of what is and then know exactly where it's going to go, but keep staying in denial about how it's going. Stay in denial about why I should be here. There you go, see? Go and be on your own for a bit. Literally, if you can, isolate yourself for a bit. And I don't, some of you may not just need like a few, you might need to say, you know what, for a few weeks I'm offline. Funnily enough, I've had someone who I'm going to be working with in a certain capacity, and literally this morning was right. So these are the things. Set up questions, question. Going to be offline for this amount of time because I'm on an off-grid retreat. So much respect for that person to say, you know what, this is what we've got to sort out. I'm completely aware of it. Let's do let's reconvene with these questions, with these dates, with these whatever. But letting you know, giving you the choice, basically, you've got this time to connect with me, or if I'm not in connection time for this period of time, it's because I'm offline. I'm going to be in a retreat. So much respect for that. So much respect for that. And it's not just a few hours, it's not just a few days, it's a significant amount of time. Therefore, it gives me a chance to like sort out things if I need to beforehand, or say, you know what, when you get back refreshed, we'll talk about it then. Having that respect, words of love and self-acceptance, having that respect. Don't smudge your shit on others. If you ain't got the chutzpah, the language is going a bit strange, the balls to actually just stand up for yourself, then don't stick it on others. Go within and contain it, deal with it, and see which way you're going. This is a very, very, very internal energy, very, very personal part of the journey. And those of you, again, who are doing it, I'm just feeling the overshadowing of the negativity from people coming in. So, letting that go. I am getting some energy treats coming in, such as some chakra tuning forks. So, they're going to be some... I'm really looking forward to those coming in. It's a gift from a cutie, and really, really chuffed with that coming in. And I'm really looking forward to doing some chakra tuning fork meditations and that. Yeah, and in the process of setting that up, and I do have study and a job and children and a child, sorry, fur baby and a human baby, children and stuff going on. So this is what I'm trying. I'm not saying it because I want like, whoa, we got a lot going on. I'm saying it because the negative people are just like the ones that just keep getting stuck in the negative. You need to like just understand that others have shit to do. Sorry for this. I don't know why the words are coming out like this today, but others have stuff to do. So stop putting this negativity on others. Keep it to yourself. Bring it in, really, really in, because it's going to benefit you. Rejuvenation, reawaken, and then stand stronger. Then when you're coming to this space, well, if you're in this space, fantastic. Justice coming in because you're able to say things with love. The anger has subsided because you've done this work within you. Until you have done this work within you, don't be surprised if the anger keeps coming back up. Don't be surprised if the irritation keeps coming back up. That means you haven't isolated yourself enough. You haven't, and I don't mean for long term, and I don't mean for short term. I'm saying until you've dealt with certain things, to be able to conduct yourself in a loving, kind manner within certain groups or with certain people. And then they're admitting that some people just ain't going to give you what you need. Again, go positive. Let's go to the positive. Queen of Swords, Knight of Cups. Let's get one for Knight of Cups. Right, so Queen of Swords, Knight of Cups. Going that way, going to the point of like, there we go. See, we're letting in the clarity, we're letting in the love, we're letting in the acknowledgement of this is what I need. And if you can't do it, then just tell me the truth. And then at least I can step up for myself. At least I can step on for myself. That's simply all it is. Just show me some respect and tell me the truth. And if you're feeling like someone's not being honest with you, someone's not being truthful with you, then again, you need to look at yourself. How are you allowing someone to do this to you? How are you impeding, hindering your own progress? You're not sure? Then what are you going to do in the meantime? Wow, something just flew out. Interesting. What are you going to do? I'm going to give myself some love and make sure emotional well-being is my priority. My emotional well-being is my priority. From that space, what are you going to radiate out? From that space, what are you going to be sending as a message? What are you going to be transmitting? You're literally going to be shifting. This is why I said this space. I don't know who's stuck in this space. I don't really want to know. You sort it out. In this space, again, none of my business, but if you're feeling like you're on this space, transmitting love, if you can go through certain situations and feel love, keep going. Transmit more, stronger, deeper. Your self-love is a priority. Your self-care is a priority. Okay? There you go. And step forward with confidence. Step forward knowing you're doing this for your long-term well-being. It's not just for this moment. The configuration right now, the alignments, that ain't some short-term deal going on. Especially with Mars where it is, especially with Saturn where it is at this time. With like, oh wow. Chiron retrograde in Aries at this point when North Node is literally around there in Aries too, coming up to meeting with Chiron. Is it? Let's just check. North Node 24, Chiron 15. So North Node, true North, true Node. They're going to be crossing over at some point. You might be prepping for that. You might be getting ready for that, because that's going to be a whole level of crossing over of the wounds that are healed, the wounds that are staying with you. There may be another few lifetimes. So when I'm saying this is a really deep reading, I'm saying it's really deep, it's important. There's no messing about here. There's no putting conversations off. There's no thinking about it for another day or two or whatever. If you can do something now, you can do something now. Then do something now, or don't. And if you don't, then don't moan to anyone else. Don't take it and slather it over someone else. You keep it for yourself and deal with it by yourself, or with other people who are doing the same as you. Interesting. I'm going to pick up one masculine card because it wants to go here. The World. Masculine energies, masculine perspective is let's just go on top of the world. We need to go up. Emotionally, wherever you stop yourself from having that coming easily. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I'm going to stop it there because I feel like it could go on for quite a long time. And let me know if you are happy with longer readings, because I know that sometimes you just really want to get stuck in and go deeper. And plus also with more decks coming along, I always find it's a lot more, you can start bringing in more elements and aspects of things when you've got more decks. And so all of my last decks were moved on, shall we say. So I've had to wait until I can get more decks. And as we know, they're not exactly the cheapest thing to get. So progressing, things are moving along. Hope you're well. Please do check out your monthly zodiac readings. So try and get your natal chart if you want to, and see where it lines with that, see where it falls in place with that. There should be a link in most of the monthly readings at the bottom with the natal chart, that you can get your own natal chart if you don't have a natal chart. And so for now, going now into the masculine reading. See you there. For now, peace and love.